Is it going?
It's going.
Okay. Hello, friends and family. Okay. This is about Bastrop State Park in Texas. Very nice. I've been meaning to do this for the last 4 state parks. So
you weren't. I just brought it up
No,
today.
I was gonna.
No, you were not.
Listen, I don't want to have to start this over, so please shut up.
Continue.
We're at Bastrop State Park in Texas. Look, this is a map. I'm going to show you on this map. There's 2 camp. We're in an RV, of course. It's 97 degrees, so we're not in a tent. This is all pull-through stuff, but we're over here. I wish I had a pointer. Let me get this lighter. All of these, this is all pull-through, and they're very nice and wide open and stuff like that. They're on top of a hill. There's very, very little shade up there. So those people are roasting. We're down here in this part. I'm going to go outside and show how awesome this is. We are actually, this part down here is pretty cool. I'm going to walk down there on video, but we're up here on this little circle. We're on number, where are we at? Number 57, which is this one right there. Number 57. I'm going to go outside and show you how awesome this is. I'm going to walk down that. And this down here is super cool. It's pretty packed, and it's wide open because the pine trees are like freaking 60, 70 feet tall, which you normally wouldn't think we'd have in Texas. And since it's 97 degrees, I'm going to turn the AC back on for my lovely wife. It was just too loud while I was in here. Check it out. So there's only one thing I don't particularly care for here at Bastrop State Park, but we're up in that little loop, and that is looking down. That down there is the other part of this this campground. We have one neighbor right there. It's pretty far away, so it doesn't matter. But these are these pine trees. These pine trees are phenomenal. We really don't have a lot of pines except for in East Texas. Now, these are actually called the Lost Pines of Bastrop. And so here's our site. Here's our little trailer. And we got a pretty big wide open site. That's a tent spot right there, tent platform. We don't have a tent, so we have our black stone set up over there. You know, but see, it's a very short site. So we disconnected and we're parked next to the trailer there. So this up here is for small trailers, or these guys next to us over there. While this is RV site, they're tent camping. You can have up to 2 tents. So we're here parked right next to it. There's our table. There's our fire ring. I step over my hammock here. So you got some good hammock. With the pines, you got some good hammock trees. It's a very big site. Lantern pole, nice and concrete flat. The tent site's pretty flat. I mean, it's a huge site. I mean, the site is really, I like it. I have the radio on out here, coming out of the speakers here. Normally I don't. I'm going to tell you the reason I have that on. Normally we don't. We like to hear the birds chirping. Is that this is the only drawback. This place is beautiful. It's beautiful. Like I had mentioned on the map earlier, if you go to the pull-through sites up at the top of the hill, I mean, it's just wide open. I mean, there's really no trees up there. Look at these trees. I'm going to walk down here to this part. This part down here is so cool. Look how tall these trees are. You don't normally, I mean, that's probably 60, 70 feet, this tree. Very, very sparse, wide open pine forest is beautiful. We tend to, when we go to state parks or when we camp, we like to boondock. We like to get way far up. We don't like neighbors. So when you get down here, while it is gorgeous with the trees, I mean, these trees are just gorgeous, but with this kind of pine trees, I mean, you see your neighbors 6, 7, 8, 10 sites down. I mean, it's beautiful. They got a restroom facility right here. You'll be able to see. Let's see if I can zoom in right there. There's a restroom facility there with showers. All of their restroom, they do it really well here in Texas. But all these sites, clean restrooms, clean showers. All of these sites are. This is one site right here. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of these sites as long as you don't mind, you know, being close to other people. That's why we're up there. You can see us. That's our car and truck up there. But we don't have a giant Class A or nothing. It's just I think from the front of my tongue to the back of my rack for the bikes is like 22 feet. It's a single axle. It weighs like 4,000 pounds. But you can see it's just, when you come up here, there's only 4 campsites up in here. And when we came in, they were all full, and we really haven't had any issues with privacy because of the way it's, you can see that group of trees right there between us and the ones next to us. You don't even really know they're there. They might know we're there. But they're very spacious. The pine trees are gorgeous. Oh, like I was saying, the reason I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear that sound. That's traffic. Fucking highway is weird. Highway 71's right there. So it's crazy. I mean, it's really wild to be off in these beautiful pines and just hear traffic. It's kind of a drag. But when you're sitting over here at the campsite and you got some Pink Floyd or Grateful Dead or, gosh, even Slayer or Leonard Skinner coming out, I sit right here. Oh, some Steely Dan. Can't really hear the music, the traffic, but it is wild to be out here in the woods and just the constant drone of traffic. Highway 71 is a pretty busy highway coming out of Austin. That's the only drawback of Bastrop State Park that I would say. Up there on top of the hill in the pull-through sites, you can't hear the traffic, but you're getting cooked in the sun. Right now it's 97 degrees. I think it's the end of May. It's like May 24th, 25th, something like that. And it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I'm sitting here in the shade, and it's nice. I mean, there's a little sun there, but this is a very shady spot here. You can see their tent over there. And it backs right up to the woods here, so you got nothing up there. You can go hiking up in there if you want. It's a very spacious site. This is campsite number 57. We usually, when we come to a state park, we'll get on the bikes and ride around. Normally we bring a canoe, but we didn't canoe this time. The lake's dried up. They had a fire about 15 years ago, and some of the stuff is still regenerating, and they got areas closed. Still trying to regrow grass and anti-erosional type of stuff. So they got some areas of the park that you can't, they don't really want you accessing still, even after all that time. But we did not bring the canoe, and we are not going to fish. We just came, we bought ribeyes. So we're just kicking it at the campsite, grilling. I'll tell you what, there's 2 things that we take with us when we go camping: air conditioning and this Blackstone. Dude, I'm saying get one of these. It's a perfect size. I'm about to sear a ribeye on there later. But anyways, we've been coming to these state parks. I was going to do a little review of each, what we like, what we don't like, and but went to Garner, Mustang Island, Lake Mineral Wells, Inks Lake, and now Bastrop and Stephen F. Austin. And this is the first video I did. And as you see how much this video stinks, you'll see why it took me so long to start doing them. I ramble on. I don't know how much of this information is useful, useless, doesn't matter. We usually drive around and check for campsites, and then we make notes which campsites we like, and we circle them on the map, so next time we come, we'd like to get that campsite. So we like campsites that face away from people, and campsites that aren't near people, and as much privacy as you can get in a state park that's loaded with campsites. And I think in this instance, we've been all over the park. I do believe campsite number 57 quite possibly is the best campsite for that. If you don't want to say hi to your neighbors, and you know, you're not going to pull your chairs up around a campfire and share beers and war stories, campsite 57 is the one for you. When you go down this road right here into that nice piney grove down there, the campsite to the left is 54, the campsite to the right is 59. I think either one of those would be good. With the road being here, it means you don't have a neighbor next to you because of this road coming up. So during the day, it might have a little traffic, maybe some interaction, but at night, you'll just be kicking it under the stars with you and your loved ones, which is what we're doing back here. But honestly, I'm going to say at Bastrop State Park, if you're like us, you want to stay away from people, campsite number 57 is the best one. Just know that if you come here, I would not want to tent camp here because the traffic, even at 10, 11 o'clock at night, is just going. There's a lot of semis on that road. 71's a state highway, and it's a pretty busy one. So if you don't mind the white noise of traffic, by all means, bring your tent. But we're in the trailer with the air conditioner, so we don't really hear anything. So Bastrop State Park in a nutshell, not bad. 2 weeks from now, we're going to be in Lake Somerville. 2 weeks ago, we're at Inks Lake. Inks Lake is definitely worth going. Any campsite is nice. That is a fantastic state park. I also happen to like Lake Mineral Wells. Very woodsy, huge sites. You can't even see your neighbors because it's so woodsy. But I don't want to get into other state parks while I'm at Bastrop. Next week, not next weekend, but in 2 weeks, Lake Somerville State Park, and I'll do this again. I'm going to go watch this video. If it's too long, too stupid, I'm going to recut it. But you know me. I don't cut. I don't edit. I don't watch my mouth. I just go with it. And what is. And I'll see y'all next time. Happy camping.